Heyo! I'm going to show you how to get this summer peach look. Very nice and fun for the summertime. It's very light and fun, but still has that color pop to it, which is my favorite. If you're like me and have green eyes, we'll love it as well. Starting off, I'll show you kind of what my skin looks like beforehand, because obviously it has some problems. With that, I definitely put on some foundation. I'm not going to go through those steps because I haven't perfected it for my skin, but this is where I'll be starting with my base of my face. From here, just some generic brown eyeliner, nothing too special. I'm pretty sure everyone can finish that step by themselves, so I'll just get past that. Going on with some eyeshadow primer. With this primer, you just basically dab it on and then fill in everywhere with your fingertip. It's really easy and light to put on. If you get too much of an area, just wipe it off with like a tissue or something. But onto my brows. With the brows, I use this Anastasia kit to first help contour them when I pluck them, and so that way after this point all I have to do is fill in. And that's what I'm doing basically here, using the shadow that comes with it to fill in the gaps. I just use like kind of a light brown to blonde and just fill in any spot, just following along with the bottom line of my eyebrow. Makes it easier, and then just fill in to the top, and that's all I'm doing here is just filling into the top. And reminder, eyebrows are like sisters, not twins, so they'll never be perfect. Don't stress yourself. Following up with that, my favorite kit, the Sweet Peach by Too Faced. Smells so good. With this kit, basically we'll be just using 3 different colors from here within it. And each time I use a color, I'll pop it up on the screen for a moment so you can see what color it is and maybe match it with a different kit. Starting with a crease brush, it's just like a $3 brush from e.l.f. Don't stress the brush, just stretch the shape. We will just be filling in that crease. If you're like me and have very deep creases, pack it full of color at first and then follow upwards to fill in and make it give you some effect to it, not just sit with some color somewhere hidden away. And basically that's what I'm doing, fill in strong with the crease and then just stroke it upwards. And any spots I need, like I noticed there's a gap here, just dab in a little extra color there, and there we go. And just follow suit with the second eye. After that, we're going to fill in the spots that we didn't get from the crease with Candied Peach from the same kit. This Candied Peach is wonderfully colorful and it also smells great, just like the rest of the kit. And we're going to do that on both eyes, just pack in the color across the top lid. Both eyes will just be full of color at this point, so don't worry about any crease marks being too obvious or anything like that. We'll clean those up in a moment. With that, we'll take the same brush because it has kind of a nice tip to it. I'm going to take that same color and just fill in with my lower lash line, just stroking in gently. As you can tell, the difference between the top and the bottom, obviously using the primer definitely pops the color a bit more, so if ever you need a color to pop more, that's when you want to use the primer, and that's why I use it especially on the top lid here, to make that kind of peachy color pop as best as possible. With here, I'm just filling it in until I like it, and once I get a color to the spot that I like, I'll stop and check my progress. With this right now, we just have color on top and bottom. Don't worry about the semi-young kind of be override. It's just there for background warmth when we go to the next phase. After this, you're just checking to make sure eyes are even and then kind of eliminate any harsh lines around the edges, just so that way you don't have a jagged line here or there. Just use a fluffy brush for that. Following with White Peach from that same kit, it's just to make your under eyebrow arch pop. Let's say that again, under eyebrow arch pop. As you can tell, I'm not using too bright of a color, it's just something light, so that way if the sun does hit it, it just makes it pop. And progress check again. Looking pretty good overall, as even as can be, obviously. We're going to switch on to Smokin' from the Natural Love, again with Too Faced for me, apparently love them as well. We're going to take just kind of a contouring brush, again a little bit thicker than the one we used before, and a little bit stubbier. And what I do is I just kind of brush it in towards the middle of my eyelid from the outer corner in a downward sweep. And that gives you the effect to start your V. Filling in a little bit of my crease again just to give it a little more definition. And then just outward swipes towards the edge. This will just give you that kind of nice V shadowy effect, which I'll just demonstrate here. A little bit of color in the corner to kind of give you a depth, and nothing more needed there. Nice and easy. You can brush that out too if you notice any harsh lines, but if you're happy with the effect, just leave it as be. We'll be moving on now to just some white eyeliner from the under eye. I just like it makes my eyes look a little bit whiter, and not like I need it that much, but I just like the effect a little bit more. If you prefer to have a darker color, you can obviously use the brown that you started with at the top to fill in there. If you're happy with kind of that peachy look, because your eyes obviously are a little bit red, that will work too, just leave as be. There we are, looking gorgeous, feeling it. Alright, moving on to everyone's favorite part, the liquid eyeliner. Just use a Revlon cheap one, again going with kind of a brown color to keep it softer. With this, I'm just using the brush actually to kind of line it up and just dab outward at an angle, and using the tip to fill in that corner area. Switching lens so you can see, I'm just dragging out from the top of it, dragging outwards so I can get that corner edge. And don't mind my messy room behind it. I'll use a Mini Me color. It's just a light peachy tint that I can use to kind of fill in with that peach color theme. Don't need to go too heavy on the peach, otherwise you'll just be a complete blur, but there we are, peachy keen. Both eyes done, we're going to move on, but however, if you notice like I did, that something's a little amiss, a little too light in the corner, just fill in underneath your cat eye with that smoking color again, and that's going to give you a little bit more of effect towards that cat eye like that. Overall, look a little bit better. Going over with mascara. Don't think I need to go over what mascara is or how to apply it. Use your favorite. The one I'm using right now is not necessarily my favorite, but it was on sale, so why not buy it, right? There we are. Obviously, at this point, you can stop if you want because we have a finished look. It's summer, light, peachy. Definitely pops if you have a lighter color eye. Especially green seems to work really well with it. Overall, 10 out of 10. Loving it. There we are. From this point out, I'm actually going to continue the video to add on fake eyelashes. I definitely love having the fake eyelashes. The ones I'm currently using are a Benefit one. They're $15, so a little bit more spending than most, so feel free to use whatever fake eyelash you like, but this is just my favorite as of right now. So far I've gotten about 5 uses out of it, and that's my status with it currently. And obviously, if you're new to fake eyelashes and want to know more, what you want to do is kind of let the glue cure a little bit. Put a little bit on and then let it sit for about like 30 seconds, sing the alphabet, do something like that, blow on it, take a drink, do something. Basically what I'm doing is I set it in the middle because I have very curved eyes, set it in the middle and then pop down both corners and make sure to set them. From there, just can be a side-by-side falsies and no falsie. But if you're new, that's about as much glue as you need. You don't need more than that. You just want it right along the edge and then just pop it in. And again, with the finished look, everything looking great. Loving it, loving it, loving it. With this look, it's definitely summer fun and peachy. If you want to go darker, it's easy to adjust. Just add more smoke, use a darker color. And that will be all.